Hey, NOSA community, and we are finally back. We have some amazing content to share with you guys today. And as a continuation on the conversation I was having on our Facebook group, let's talk about how to create a marketing strategy in real time. So, we're improving your healthcare staffing solutions, and we will be creating a marketing strategy in real time to help you jumpstart that desire, fill in some of those blanks, and let's just get started. As always, my name is Shamika, founder and creator of the NOSA Group. We're glad to have you here. If you haven't taken a moment, go ahead and click the subscribe button and join our ever so growing community to get you some information, tips, tricks. We have it all here, resources, guidance, and support on your journey in starting your healthcare staffing business. So let's jump into the nuts and bolts of this marketing strategy. And a lot of this is based on my own experience and some of the things that we did in our getting started process, but it's still applicable to you guys today. So before I jump into the content, I encourage you guys to pause the video, get yourself a pen and paper or pencil and paper, and let's talk about what your marketing strategy, the nuts and bolts, should really look like. So, one, your marketing strategy is really talking about how you plan to market your business to clients and potential employees. So, throughout this conversation, I'll interchange the information and give examples of how to address each community and how you may word it or how it may be best worded in your respective businesses. And then of course you can always go on and check out our resources tab on our website to get more information about how to actually bring it all together. But you don't need me. You can try Google. There's plenty of templates you can use out there to bring it all together. But we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of what that looks like for you guys. And let's get into it. So when we think about marketing strategy, you want to think about like your brand. Like, what is the purpose? Why are you here? Who is your audience? And what are you providing? What is your message? When they think about your brand, what do you want them to think about? What do you want them to envision? And how you want to get that message across. So, here are a few tips to get you there. So, when you're introducing your healthcare staffing business, it's important to involve a strategy because that'll create the roadmap for you to create relationships through businesses, get connections with healthcare providers, have an understanding of what your competition is and what's considered competitive pricing, and really focus on quality placements for those particular clients. Some other things that you want to think about that's on the flip side of it from an employee standpoint of view is like, why would I work for you? What makes you different? What is your added value to our industry? Um, and one of the things that is a constant in our industry when you think about what's happening in the market is, of course, that there is a shortage being faced of qualified healthcare professionals. So that's why many of you guys have decided to start agencies, maybe worked for agencies yourself, and you're really identifying for your client their biggest pain point, which is a solution to help them find the right staff through working with you in your business. And some ways to think about that is the why. We talk a lot about, why should we choose you or what makes you so different? And in saying that, you really want to think about who your audience is and what they need. So a lot of times your why kind of meets a need of that particular audience, whether it's an employee for a job or employee for that right agency or that right fit, or a facility that has a hard time maintaining and retaining staff. So a lot of the messaging that you put out, whether it's through video, social media, email campaigns, really needs to encompass that. You don't want to fall short on who you are as far as who people perceive you as. But if they don't get the message, you always want to incorporate that in the body of the language and the means that you use to communicate. Talking about your services. So, this is probably the most important piece, in my opinion, and we'll spend most of our time talking about that. Is go ahead and join the social media bandwagon. Don't waste any more of your time overthinking it, slowing yourself down, kind of two stepping around it. Go ahead and get out there and get your social media up and going. Nearly 3.96 billion people are active on social media. That's your audience. That's your audience of applicants. That's your audience of potential clients. That's your audience. And if you're not there, you're missing like a 1% of these people to connect with, to have conversations with, to share your business with. So, social media is by far a pivotal piece in identifying your target audience and your ideal client. Um, Developing your strong online presence. Anybody that's talked to me knows that I'm going to tell you you need to get a website and you need to get on social media. Those are the top two things that I'm going to talk to you about in addition to your business plan. Without those things, you're operating probably harder, working harder than you really need to. And it really kind of becomes less beneficial to you in that you're looking for your audience, but you're not going where they are. Um, Use attractive infographics, informative posts. Just because you're a staffing agency doesn't mean that you always have to post about jobs. You can post about what's happening in the community. You can post about a new hospital coming, new businesses happening or moving to your area. You can touch on things around the weather, health care. Specifically, it's flu time, COVID is making a turn back around. Those are all great topics to talk about because you want to provide your audience that follows you a well-rounded conversation. So sometimes, many times, you have large, medium-sized audiences. Everybody won't engage in the conversation, but many times more people will interact. So they'll heart or like your post, or they may share it with another person. LinkedIn is the go to. Let's say it again. LinkedIn is the go to platform for marketing yourself as a recruiter and a potential place to connect with clients. It's the hands down. And LinkedIn has really evolved over the few years. It wasn't initially the go-to place, I don't think, for healthcare, but it really is where people go to look for a more specified job opportunities. A lot of times it allows you to connect with that right client. It really allows your client to reach out to you, which is what you always want or always feels good. And nearly 87% of healthcare recruiters found LinkedIn extremely useful in attracting the right candidate. Next, attend industry conferences and events to network and build relationships. So that one contract that we all want to get like yesterday doesn't always happen in that time frame, but I encourage you guys to really get involved and engage with the community that you're wanting to be a part of. And that looks like going to conferences. I talked about myself attending a conference, specifically TravCon. We hosted a meetup out there 2 years ago now. I've gone before when I was an employee working as a travel nurse. So connecting to those people is a lot easier when you're around the different types of conferences, sessions, whether it's TravCon, SIA, American Staffing Association, the State Staffing Association, your BNI, all of those types of networking events that are around staffing. A lot of platforms like Meetup are having like specific audiences that they're targeting when it comes to different topics. So there's a lot of different options out there, and I wouldn't place myself in such a box where I'm only going to these events versus really branching out and seeing what's out there. as well as your Chamber of Commerce. I talked during our Facebook group session about going to, opening of events, openings, grand openings for events, healthcare or non healthcare related, because the best thing you can do for your business, especially in an industry that is still heavily word of mouth, is talk to people. So being out and about, networking, attending events, building those relationships really matter in the long run. Um, your approach to staffing. So, our healthcare staffing approach involves a thorough screening process, personalized placements, and ongoing support for clients and staff. And then this is just kind of a language template that you can use, whether it be in an infographic, you can use it in a brochure, but you want to go a little bit deeper when you're talking about your actual strategy. In your strategy, you want to talk about the brand. Like, what does your business brand represent? When I look at your logo, what does that mean to me? When I see your name, what does that mean to me? And I recently talked to a NOSA about the naming, and we'll talk more about branding and colors and names and things of that nature, because that's really key, because you want your business to be sustainable over time. You want your business to still be in play in 7 or 10 years from now, or 15 or 20 years. Many nosas become nosas to create generational wealth for their families. So creating a name that makes sense, and not giving it too much thought, but not overthinking it, is really key. When we think about the names of some of the businesses that we use every day, Apple, Google, Tesla. We have a gas station here called Sheets. That name doesn't really mean a lot, but it's names that we use in our everyday business. Wawa, there's a gas station called Wawa. So it's kind of thinking about what the name means to you as a business owner, and really being thoughtful as how it would connect to others. So it's always a great idea, as I shared with this particular individual, ask other people what they think about when they hear your name. Get some feedback. You know, a couple of other things to consider is adopt strategies that are geared towards branding to make your agency stand out. So, of course, you should do some of the traditional things, email campaigns, infographics, and things of that nature as far as sharing the information. But think a little bit outside the box. Is there something else that you can do? Quite a few people opt to host Zoom sessions or workshops or in person activities. Some people collaborate with other businesses. A couple of years back, a CNA school and a new NOSA in the Ohio area started working together. So there's other opportunities to market your business that's not always the most traditional way, but think about a couple of different ways that you can get the word out there about your agency. Of course, connect with your local organizations, your hospitals, home cares, hospices, and do workshops. You can do workshops on different topics related to not so much healthcare staffing, but healthcare. Because when you think about our business, a big part of our business that is a great conversation starter is the healthcare. The healthcare part of our business, and even having a conversation with someone, telling them that you're a nurse or a certified nursing assistant or whatever role you may have, really creates the conversation starter. So don't shy away from sharing that type of information. As well, a part of your brand should include the fact that you are an OSA and that you have a wealth of experience to share, and how you can use that experience and expertise as a helping hand to potential clients. It'll create relatability for potential employees, and kind of how you bridge those two things together to establish your business. And make sure to give an accurate picture of what you want your clients to expect. And that's what we'll talk a little bit about here under team number 5. You want to identify who your target audience is. And a big part of identifying that is talking about who's your ideal client. What would be some of the things that they would already have in place? What would be some of the things that you, as the agency owner, would be able to provide to them? And what would that relationship look like? Um, Tailoring your messaging to their needs. I tell people sometimes when you connect with people, if you're looking for clients or you're talking to clients, in the conversation with them, many times they'll tell you their biggest pain point or their most um, requested need. Leverage your social media as always through building your brand and connecting with potential clients. And then you can use email marketing. So once you kind of identify that person, what might be their biggest pain point, you really want to use some of your email marketing strategies, whether it be via campaigns or other ways that you do email marketing to reach out and connect with them. People always like free stuff and information. So providing informative information sessions about your business and what you do and how you work. And that's really key. An agency providing a client with kind of like a playbook or a video or a process presentation on how their business works is very much thinking outside the box. Rarely does it happen, and when it happens, it gives insight to how you can work with us. Hey, this is our process. This is how long it takes. You want to set realistic expectations. And then that starts to get that particular decision maker to think about, hey, this is how I can work with them. If you offer things like, on demand scheduling, if you offer opportunities for facilities to self schedule, if you have messaging systems and different platforms to communicate with potential staff, if you have specialized credentialing for your staff, if you have any staff that, you work with that are in hard to fill specialties. Those are all ways that you can incorporate that in kind of your communication with that particular facility. And you can do the same thing for communicating with potential employees as well. You just have to be a little bit more creative and think outside the box. Success stories. So, this is my key piece that I see left out on a lot of individuals' websites, social media, different platforms is tell, share, post about those success stories. Share about the experiences of the businesses that you're currently working for. Take out the time to get them to put in writing, put on an email, a survey monkey survey, monkey survey, on your Facebook page, on your LinkedIn page, on different platforms where you can share about where they can share about their experiences with working with your business, and then do the same thing with your employees. People look at reviews. People make sometimes sold decisions off of reviews. People are more open and willing to invest and take out time to have conversation if it's a referral. So really give them as much positive feedback and information about your business through the people that are working with you. And then toot your own horn. Something like our healthcare staffing businesses help X number of hospitals and clinics and healthcare systems across the country replace X number of employees and qualified staff to help them meet their needs in 2023 or 2022. And then, of course, lead them right into checking out some of your success stories. And as we wrap up and round out here on marketing strategy, really think about leveraging not only your social media to showcase your expertise and promote the staffing solutions that you're able to offer. Make sure you sign up. We still have time this year. Sign up to attend healthcare industry events. It could be healthcare industry, healthcare staffing industry. It could be your local chamber of commerce, your local networking community event. It can be anybody, as long as it's making a connection and providing you a return on your investment. And then always, it's great to offer referral bonuses. We see probably now more than before to offer referral bonuses to not only staff, but clients that refer you people, refer you other clients, because that kind of makes the process easier for them and for you, because they're going to share about their experience because they're having a good experience, but kind of gives you a great business referral option. And then finally, when you're thinking about putting together like images and content, you want to give people a real life image of your business. So include, images of medical professionals. It's even better if you actually include real-time staff members. Market not only to meet the needs of the business, but you want to think about bringing about awareness. A lot of NOSAs, myself included, during the pandemic, talked about COVID. That's important. Your health, your wellness are important parts of your everyday life. So having a business in your neighborhood or that you follow online on social media, talking about those things really will catch people's attention. You want to also focus on what makes you different. So in order to know what makes you different than the next agency in your area or in your um, is to understand what they are doing. Understand what value you bring and what other added value you may be able to bring. To be successful, you really need to be up on the latest trends and technologies. Let's say that again. To be successful in this industry, you really have to stay up to date on the latest trends and technology. It means everything. It's something that's impacting our industry substantially. It will make or break your business in the long run. And then finally, it's always great to wrap up a strategy with some sort of thank you or acknowledgement for that particular facility working with you. Really, when you think about the full picture of your marketing strategy, it really talks about like who your brand is, what you represent, what are your goals, your vision, your mission, what do you want to change, how you can support them, and meeting the needs of their employees, and really being a change agent in the industry, because there are quite a few agencies out there. Doing that makes a difference. So leverage your expertise, guys. Don't take it to think, oh, well, I don't want them to know you're a nurse. You do want them to know you're a nurse. That 1000% sets you aside, adds value that a lot of agencies cannot offer. It creates leverage as far as creating relatability when it comes to working with staff members or bringing staff members to facilities, as well as it creates a different type of conversation when working with facilities to make sure that you're able to meet your needs, because you don't have to really dig deep into different elements of the business, because you understand things like acuity and ratios and the challenges around scheduling and the fact that we're in a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 business. So you can really relate and take that approach when you engage and answer questions and have interactions with decision makers as well. So thank you as always for joining us for our talk. We had some great video content we'll be sharing here on our channel about my interactive session on our Facebook group. As always, if you aren't, go ahead and click that alert bell and get some updates on a lot of content. We'll be talking more, as our next topic is going to be about recruitment strategy. We'll be talking more about how to bring all those initial pieces together or tweak them, because it's that time of year, so that they're meeting your needs as a NOSA and business owner, so that you can be successful as we enter into 2024 and close out 2023. Thanks as always, and hoping you have a great rest of your week.